Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to Late Night Frights. My name is Jeremy, and so this week we're back doing our horror battles, and so I decided to battle Shaun of the Dead versus Dead Snow. And before I get into the battle, I'm going to do a quick review on both of these films, see what I think about them, and then the battle will begin. So let's start it off with Shaun of the Dead. Okay, so Shaun of the Dead was made back in 2004, and it was directed by Edgar White. Now, this film to me is a very hilarious film because it has my probably two favorite British actors besides Andrew Lincoln, who stars in The Walking Dead. I just think they're really hilarious guys, and that's Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. And that's who this movie is kind of based around. Also, Kate Ashfield as Sean's girlfriend, Liz, well, ex-girlfriend. It's complicated. So, Nick Frost, who plays Ed, Simon Pegg, who plays Sean, and Kate Ashfield, who plays Liz. That is basically, the kind of stars of the cast. The other cast also does a really good job, but that's who it mostly focuses on, and I'm kind of rambling here. So, the plot for Shaun of the Dead is that Sean is your average guy. He goes to work, he loves his mom, and he doesn't really love his stepdad. There's some conflict there. Um, but he sticks in a routine, and that's going to the pub called the Winchester every time that he goes out with his girlfriend, and he always brings Ed, and she always brings her two friends. And so, saying that if she stays with Sean, she's going to come to that pub every day with them and have a drink and just wonder what the heck happened. So she dumps him, and that night they go back to the Winchester, and him and Ed just talk, and Ed says, I'm not going to take him, it's going to get easier. I'm just going to say, what's the worst that could happen? Or it couldn't get any worse. Something like that. I forgot already, I watched it last night. But the next day, the zombie apocalypse happens, and that's so funny to me. And so, throughout the rest of the film, it's just Sean trying to survive, get his mom, get Liz, and find a safe place that they know and where they're able to smoke and where they know that they would, just be entirely safe and secure. And so they head back to the Winchester. And that is the general plot for Shaun of the Dead. Okay, so Dead Snow was made back in 2009. The director was Tommy Wirkola. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name. But the general plot for Dead Snow is that a ski vacation turns for the worst for a group of medical students when they are attacked by zombies. That kind of sums it all up. This is a very funny film. It's a foreign film, but that doesn't really take me out of it. You have to, read everything that they say, except for some things like this really funny guy, I forget his name, but he just like, yippee-ki-yay, mother. And he did an Arnold impression. I'll be back! Um, it's a really funny film. They have kind of stuff kind of thrown in there. Just where they're kind of, in the snowy mountains at this log cabin. There's the outside toilet, and this girl gets attacked by a zombie while she's on the toilet, and she falls in, and she comes up, and she's covered in crap. It sounds gross, and it was kind of gross to see, but then she doesn't come back, and one of the women say she's probably crap-faced and fell asleep in the toilet, and that's so hilarious because most of that was true. And there's also stuff in Shaun of the Dead, like Sean's mother being called Barbara, and then Ed's just like, "We're coming to get you, Barbara." It just reminded me of the song by No More Kings. I think that's the name of the group. They have a song called "We're Coming to Get You, Barbara," and just stuff, kind of just kind of subtly put in there, but it's just, when you catch on to it, it's like, oh, that's, it's really funny. I think that is it for that. So now let's get into the battle. So round one is story. Which one of these films do I think has a better story to it? I don't know. I'd probably have to go with Shaun of the Dead. And then round two is effects. Which one of these films had the better effects, in my opinion? Well, there's some really cool effects in Shaun of the Dead where you where they're throwing records at zombies and it kind of breaks and gets caught in his face. But also in Dead Snow, this guy cuts off his own arm. And I'm just trying to think of all the things that happen in the films. I'd probably also have to go with Shaun of the Dead on this as well. There's a really brutal kill, and it's just like body parts are flying off. They're getting ripped in half. It's pretty funny. Round three is acting. Which film had the better acting? It's kind of hard to say because Shaun of the Dead was a full out comedy, but sometimes I kind of thought that Dead Snow was kind of trying to take a serious route, but they still wanted to keep the comedy, but they just wanted to be serious as well. I'd probably have to go with Shaun of the Dead. And so round four is gore. Which one of these films has the best gore, in my opinion? I'm trying to think of what happens in the films. I'd probably also have to go with Shaun of the Dead. And round five is kills. And which one of these films had the higher body count, and that is Dead Snow. So, this kind of surprised me. I thought it'd kind of be like a fair match, but Shaun of the Dead has totally annihilated Dead Snow, but I think Dead Snow's a really funny movie. I think both of these are really funny movies, and that's why I wanted to, battle them. I was originally going to battle Return of the Living Dead versus Dead Snow, but I'm pretty sure that was kind of done not too long ago by Little Rocker Cutie 2005. Or he reviewed one of I think he reviewed Return of the Living Dead. I don't know if it was all battling with Dead Snow, but went with Shaun of the Dead, and I'm kind of glad I did because this is a very funny film. I like both of these films a lot. Okay, so it was actually Little Rocker Cutie did a horror battle, kind of like an homage to his first video here on Late Night Frights, which was he battled Night of the Living Dead versus Return of the Living Dead, and the Night of the Living Dead was from 1990. And so that's about it for this video, guys. Please stay tuned for a video for Vanessa 82 Horror and our new pre-member Black Ninja 847 or 847. And also stay tuned next week for more Late Night Frights content. And once again, guys, this is Jeremy telling you to be careful, because you never know what might be lurking in the shadows.